de soi. Il ferme ses yeux quand tu parles tout bas. Il chasse tes peurs d'un simple pas à pas. Le chat blottit contre toi, il ronronne, il te croit reine du monde rien que pour lui. Quand tu ris, il s'endort aussi. Le chat blottit contre toi, garde tes secrets dans ses doigts, dans ses griffes rentrées dans sa nuit. Il ronronne, il reste ici. Un poil sur ton livre, une trace sur ton plaid. Il t'attend au moindre clé qui tourne au palier. Tu traînes ta journée comme un manteau trop lourd. Lui, il grimpe décidé sur ton cœur, sur ton jour. Le chat blottit contre toi, il ronronne, il te croit reine du monde rien que pour lui. Quand tu pleures, il reste aussi. Le chat blottit contre toi, garde tes secrets dans ses doigts, dans ses griffes rentrées dans sa nuit. Il ronronne, il reste ici. Et quand tu te dis je n'y arrive plus, il vient sans un bruit te recoudre le flux. Un museau sur ta main, un souffle de chaleur, tout va mieux. Soudain, tu respires en couleur. Le chat blottit contre toi, il ronronne, il te croit reine du monde rien que pour lui. Quand tu doutes, il s'endort aussi. Le chat blottit contre toi, garde tes secrets dans ses doigts, dans ses griffes rentrées dans sa nuit. Il ronronne, il reste ici.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Marco Worms. Marco Worms, welcome to the Slop. How you doing?
I am great, man. Thanks for inviting me so much. I really like this environment.
You are deep in the Slop for sure. Thanks for joining. Yes, welcome to the Slop.Computer. You are definitely a fellow sloperator, and you you slop on a lot of different mediums too, right? Like I slop on code a lot, trying to make products. You slop on audio, you slop on video, you slop on so this will be a fun conversation to talk about.
For sure.
I don't know, you want to do the quick intro of like how you started as a wee young lad working on computers?
Yeah, for sure. Like I have worked in computers and like tech for about almost 15 years now. Like I've worked in TradFi and a bunch of like boring stuff. But I've been always like very connected with video games and like trying to do video games on the sides and that's where I kind of connected with like, oh, I need to make art, I need to make music, because like just the code will not be enough to make the games.
It's true. I feel like who is it? Like the South Park guys talk about how they wanted to like start a band, and the only way they could get their like music out was like starting their show, and they were like doing these little animated clips, and that's what led to their whole show. I think that's funny. Like it's like a means to an end, or like a necessity. We kind of start doing that, and that's how we end up here. So what about crypto? How'd you get into crypto?
Well, I was working in traditional finance, and it was interestingly enough, it was not through finance, it was just NFTs, because I'm a gaming guy. And then when NFTs came up, I looked at them and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm literally not understanding what is happening. So I need to like code with it and see what's going on. And then like I made an NFT collection in Phantom. And Phantom was just starting as a blockchain. And I made the collection there just because I didn't have enough ETH to pay for the gas of the mainnet. It was too expensive back then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then like that was my entry point. Like I made this NFT collection. It returned me like way more money than any other game I made. And then I was like, whoa, this is incredible. Like I need to learn more. And then I started learning about DeFi and tokens, and that's how I later got into Yearn.
Yeah, and you landed at Yearn, right? I think that's a cool like thread to pull a little bit. What'd you do at Yearn?
I wrote a lot as I did this NFT collection, like how to deploy an NFT contract, how to deploy a shitcoin, an airdrop to everybody that had your NFT, how to like make a pool in Uniswap so your shitcoin now can be traded for dollars. So like I started just writing about these things, and Yearn had a role for tech writer, and I kind of like sent them over like, hey, I wrote this bunch of stuff I like writing, and that's what got me connected with them. And then I started helping them with articles, then documentation later, then even like websites, because I used to work as a front-end dev in TradFi, so can do this.
So like DevRel kind of, right? What someone might call DevRel? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that if I would work on the perfect role today, it would be DevRel, because I can use both the dev knowledge and the people knowledge. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. And now you're deep in the AI psychosis, and you're building with AI a lot. What is I don't know, what does the path look like from doing DevRel at Yearn to becoming a sloperator?
Well, so at Yearn I work like more doing documentation. So pre-AI doing documentation, I feel like it was a much larger pain than it is today. Because today you can kind of connect it better with your code base through these automated AI processes. But like as I was doing documentation, and then as GPT released, I used GPT, like try to get a Yearn contract and maybe like get GPT to explain it. It was GPT-3, so it's like compared to today's tools, it was nothing. But great. I was already amazed because it did kind of work. Like it had bad accuracy or like bad answers, but you could see where this was going. Like, and then my mind kind of blew, and I was like, I need to try to use this in every single possible flow, like coding, documentation, writing, like. And then I started just trying to use it and seeing where it doesn't work. I use it more as a reviewer at first rather than like writing. But today I even use it for like starting the writing for me. So like it's
Yeah, it's crazy because like not a lot of humans are actually writing things anymore, which is kind of bad. And I can tell like right away when I read an article, it's like, this sounds just like the way my agent talks to me. I can tell that you use AI for this. And also humans aren't reading a lot, especially from the DevRel point of view. If we're talking documentation, it's like you're writing those for agents.
I have tried a lot to use AI to come up with the original idea. You mean like kind of like writing, but I realized that is kind of the part where you need to be the most.
It can't.
So but even just the core idea, like you need to come up with the core idea.
It has to be,
and then be able to explain it. If you don't come up with that, and if you let the AI come up with that, you lose a lot of control already.
A bunch of bullshit. Yep.
Yep.
So so we were talking about the skill file here. And you can go to Slop.Computer and you can grab the skill file. Let me see if I can do it on the stream. I've never done this on the stream here, but yeah, there we go. I think I'm showing it on the stream. There's like a copy skill button here. And this is kind of along those same lines, along with documentation. Like you're turning all your systems into APIs and MCPs, and you're documenting them in like LLMs.txt. So when someone lands on a thing, instead of having to navigate the thing, they can just copy the skill, give it to their agent, and say, give their intent, and the agent can just like carry that out.
Yes, but it's weird because there was something like kind of magical about opening like the React documentation and just reading it yourself, and then like getting to struggle with the concept. So like you actually understand how stuff works. And now maybe we're more like oriented to like, oh, I just need to know why this component won't render. So I'll ask the AI and it will fix for me, and that's it. So you have less incentive, right, to kind of deep dive into things. And that's kind of bad, I see, because I see that I have lost the incentive to do that a lot.
I'm dumb, man. Like, I remember as a developer how much I hated product manager guy who would just be like, we need this, and he would just like spout out just like idealistic shit, and then I would have to go implement it, and I was like, shut up, I'm gonna have to do that. Like, not shut up, like I want the product to be better, but you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the man, I know how to do this. And now it's like I'm that guy, I'm the product manager, and the AI is me back then. And it's just like you just shout out your idealistic intent and assume it will do it. Yeah, it's been a changing role for sure.
Yeah, but it is like, and I think it's interesting and it's fun if you just go down the rabbit hole of using the tools, think for yourself like where it fails and where it succeeds, because like everybody's doing that, right? Like there's no like, oh, this is the correct way to use AI and it has been established by like the industry. Like, so you just have to figure it out. So it's a painful process, but it does like, the reward is better than the failures. It has been to me. Like whenever something goes right, it goes way more right than everything that went wrong. So.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, sometimes it goes wrong and I'm just like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Like you just did this thing perfectly 10 times in a row, and on the 11th time you completely dropped the ball and it totally failed. Like why am I even here? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so let's get into, I love the video. Okay, so this is probably a rabbit hole, but I love the videos you were doing with Temple. And you even said that you set up Temple with like an LLMs.txt or something.
Temple with what? Sorry, I didn't understand this last.
Templ.fun. That's you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, yes, but what you just said about it that I didn't get it. Sorry.
Oh, you just did some cool videos for it. And you also did like the LLMs.txt, kind of going back to what I was talking about Slop.Computer having the whole skill file. You did that skill file thing for Temple.
Just a short thing. Like Temple is this chat room with Treasury, right? And you just connect, you enter the chat room by just having a private key. So my vision for this as I was developing was like, well, what if we could have like, I don't know, 10,000 agents in the same group and they're trying to manage a treasury. Temple would allow that today. And you just need to give them the LLMs.txt and they will be able to chat, vote, like move the money. Like it kind of gives them the entire ability to do whatever a human does inside the protocol. And I feel like the protocol should be trying to help humans and agents coordinate like some sort of like efforts at scale. I did not find yet the like perfect use case for this, so I'm still exploring. But yeah, the idea is that it's both for humans and agents alike. It helps humans scale just by humans, or like humans interact with agents or many agents. So trying to get, I don't know, when I build this sort of protocols, I would think today of like, yeah, humans and agents need to be able to use this. So this llms.txt is the link. But
that's a big llms.txt. I would index that thing out a little bit. No, that's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being generated live, but yeah. Like,
oh, it's one of those kind. It's like a dynamic llms.txt.
Yeah, because right, like there is an indexer and there is the website and there are the contracts, and then we deploy the new version of the indexer that has like a new method, and then you need to update the llms.txt. Yeah. So like you need to. We have this. The CTO of Temple actually made it. It's very nice, so it's dynamic, so it just works.
So anytime there's a change, there's some kind of CID pipeline, that CI/CD pipeline that detects the change and then regenerates the TXT. It's not that the TXT is actually dynamic like a PHP file or a JS file. It's actually just generates a fresh TXT.
No, I actually think he made it kind of like PHP because I was checking the code and it like when you hit the route, it then goes and like
so you go to llms.txt and it goes and does a bunch of things and returns you back TXT that's actually like dynamic based on a bunch of other things. That's cool.
Yeah, I did not see it like why did he do it like that? If you ask, if I were to do, I would probably do the way that you said.
Just generate it. Yeah.
Just like.
Well, it depends on how fast things change and how fast people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, since he handles like all the services, I just trusted him with the trade-offs there. Like.
Same thing with my agent, man. I just trust him. Like you do a lot of stuff for me, man. I hope it works.
No, but let's talk a bit about this because when I started Temple, I had like my agent was the CTO. So like I created the contracts and I created the app and everything was vibe coded, but it was not good. Like it worked, but if you try to join with over like 10 people or do some edge case stuff, the app would break completely. So that was good enough for me to figure out my race because I had like this prototype, it kind of worked. It showed the idea very well, like how it functioned, but like it wouldn't scale. So after I got the race, my like press C, I was okay, now let's build the actual app. And I brought in the CTO, which I showed him the prototype and like, here's everything that breaks and we need to remake everything. So then he remade the contracts. He spent a lot of time in the contracts because he was like, yo, that's the most critical part. We cannot like drop the ball on the contracts.
Yeah.
So he spent like, I don't know,
that's where you actually read the code. You read the code very closely when you're writing smart contracts. Yep. So
he did all these contracts to handle the funds and do the governance methods on top of the funds and handle the membership and the split payments that happens as everything goes. And then we put this up. He vibe coded stuff a lot for sure, but he read a lot of code there. And then he made the app. And now our app like actually scales. So if we had like a peak of users and stuff like that, we are ready to like fix because the previous ones were not. And I feel like that's an interesting difference because I really need this person. Like I needed this person to make this jump. I feel like AI would not do this jump for me yet. Like taking this shitty code base and then helping me like really taking the ownership into making this code base become well. Because I would need to be there in the loop, spending my time way more. And I needed to be other places like the raise or like figuring out other stuff like sales, marketing. So yeah, this is where I see like there's still a lot of place for developers because even if a founder like does something by himself and figure out the money or like the revenue, at some point, he will not be one to be owning the code base all the time and all the issues that come with owning a code base. So like you probably want to handle this to somebody you actually trust, like then you can this is yours.
this journey is so important to talk about for sloperators. Like you said, everyone's doing this. Everyone's spending, depending on your split, like some of their time learning AI and some of their time actually shipping something, and they need to be spending most of their time actually shipping something. And you can get product market fit. You can get traction at least with just something that you as the CEO and your AI as the CTO have created. And a lot of times when it's just you two pairing and you're not like a big COSI guy yourself, you don't really build something that scales or is multiplayer. You build something that is the experience that you want everyone to experience. And then there's this moment where you need an adult. You're like, okay, I need an adult.
Yeah, I need to serve a million users worldwide, and the computer cannot crash. Like, and there are many resources to share and many trade-offs. And that's the point where things start going exponential, like in the development side, I would say.
and you need to show a product, and you need to even show some initial traction to be able to raise in the first place. But you can get that now by just pairing with your AI and building the experience and giving it out to a few people. Can you talk about how you raised? Like what
For sure.
Like you had Temple, you could show it to investors. Did you raise on chain? Did you raise traditionally? How did that go?
No, that's great. That's a great question. I raised I talked to lots of friends that used to be at Yearn and from friends from the industry, and I used MetaLex, which is the platform from Lex Node. He made this platform where you can tokenize your company, your company equity and like your entire raise. So the way that this works is I created my company paying with crypto on a website called Autonomous. I entered this website. It accepts USDC on Ethereum. I opened an entity in like BVI. Once this entity was opened correctly, I went to Lexnode and MetaLex and started the raise there. And the raise is on chain. So what happens is you set the numbers like, oh, I'm selling 20% of my company for like this value. And now I need to sign a check of like $10,000 from someone. So you say on MetaLex, make me a $10,000 ticket. It creates the page. I send the investor. The investor has like the contract, and he signs the contract as he transfers me the USDC. So like the start of the raise happened like that. And then after the raise was already ongoing, I was able to get some trad investors. And then I found a new bank partner, which also works in USDC on Ethereum. And I was able to collect their traditional checks and bring them as USDC on our treasury as well. So like, it's so very interesting, the tools that you have today to raise on chain.
Yes. Okay. There's a fair amount to dive into there. That is really cool. So like Lexnode is he's like a lawyer, right? But he's also like deep into crypto. So he figured out like this is a really cool launch platform that has like, it has both. Basically, it's legal and correct in the legal world, but it's also on chain and uses USDC.
That's a great thing to talk about, because when I was trying to raise for Temple, I wanted to do a public raise. Like I was like, I wanted to launch a token, I want a public raise and stuff. And then like every lawyer that I talked to they were like, you should try actually private raising, because public raises has a lot of legal issues. And I did not want it to have legal issues. Like I wanted my company, like I wanted to be able to go to US and even find US investors. Like I didn't want it to be on sort of a blacklist. And at least for this like pre-seed, you need to like private raise with accredited investors. Like you need to go very like normal. And it's cool because I was able to use crypto and be 100% inside the law and the legal side correct because of this platform. Yes.
That is very cool.
He helped us a lot as well. He became like our unpaid lawyer and one of our agents. So he does help us a lot. And so thank you, Lex.
Heck yeah. I should try to get him on here too. Because he's probably kind of a sloperator too, right? Like I bet he builds with
it. He's coding now because of AI. He's shipping stuff as well. So talk to him.
I'll have to reach out to him. That's very cool.
Nice.
Okay, so go ahead.
Continue.
You go. If you're ready to go, you don't even need me. I'm ready. I'm listening.
You were saying about like you create this product and then like you get people on it and then like you raise on chain, and it's like we're already mixing stuff here, like because you use the AI to do the prototype and then crypto to do the raise, and like this stuff is already there and it's working. And it's not what you read about in the news when you read about crypto. Like you'll never read like, hey, you can just raise from your couch and like do a decent company and try to do. It's always like scam or like the dog coin. And so it's it's interesting, this like discrepancy between using the tech and seeing what's possible and like what people think it's possible, like what's on the mainstream.
For sure. For sure. And it's like complicated, right? You can't just like go to your agent and be like, let's do a public raise and let's do it legally. He's going to be like, oh, I don't know. That's a good idea, Austin. Okay, let me put the QR code up for this MetaLex website. I feel like that's worth sharing. MetaLex.tech for folks looking to raise in the correct way, but do it on chain with USDC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you created you and your AI. So are you using Claude? Are you using Codex? What's your LLM? What's your harness of choice?
I'm using Codex since Codex release. We were talking about like being a sloperator and stuff. I was checking my Codex usage. I used Codex every single day since it was released. It's like amazing. 170 days ago.
That's great.
And before that, I used to use Cloud Code. And before that, I used to use raw Cloud and GPT. Yep. Like take the code base, compile
paste
into a text, paste, and like because I was already being able to do some of my tests like that, and I was already, man, this is so insane. So yeah,
it's crazy to think about. It's like I don't think I could even go back. Like I couldn't write code right now. If I had to sit down and write code, it would be gnarly, man. But then even thinking about copy pasting code into GPT, like what a pain.
It really made me think a lot this journey of like what is worth my time thinking about and writing now.
Yes.
Like if like the code is, and I've done a lot of things. Like I've done a lot of games before AI, like prototypes, and then now I've done a lot of prototypes with AI. And I've realized most of my prototypes, I've done it like because I wanted to do it, but it was not necessarily solving anybody's problems, or it was not necessarily something people wanted to use. And like I was like, okay, but I expected to make some money out of them. So like, okay, if I expect to make some money, I need to change how like I'm approaching this and like try to get things that are more close to what people want. So like that's where maybe I should be thinking or like going now as myself. Like what do people want? Like what should I be writing that they want to consume? That's where my head has been at.
That's where it should be too. Like there's never been a worse time to be a junior developer that just sits around and does what people tell him to do. And there's never been a better time to be a solo entrepreneur, but you got to go build something that people want. You have to be paying attention. You have to have taste. You have to understand what problems people are having, and you have to go to them with a solution and say, hey, try this. And you have to get their feedback, and you have to loop on that for sure.
Yeah, the path to like success, like there are some people that do reach it through like just doing their own thing, but as far as I see, it's way more common to just accept that you need to be trying to do things for other people, as well as putting your taste in it, for sure. Like it has to be your thing, but you need to be hearing others as well. And this is the art, like how much you hear others versus how much you go with your ideas. Like,
yes. Claude was saying that the transcript wasn't working. I came to look, but it's totally working fine. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. Okay, so you said we would be talking about prototyping a lot, but like you raise money, you have a product. Like there are so many people that are stuck in the prototyping loop that have never gotten to that point where they've raised and they have real users and they have revenue. You have that, but maybe we go back to prototyping a little bit. Maybe let's say you've raised the thing, you've made money, it's working, but now you're thinking like, what's the next thing? What does your prototype loop look like?
Well, for me, it has. If I'm prototyping for the sake of doing it, it's purely moved by my will to do. So, like, if I just want to do it, I'll start doing it, and then if at some point I'm like, this doesn't really strike what I think it was when I had the idea in the first place, and it's not getting into a place where I'm enjoying it, I might as well just drop there, and that's it for the project. So I have done this like hundreds and hundreds of times.
But this is so important because there are times when you get this, like, I think Joe DeLong said this, he gets this itch to go build a thing. And back in the day, you would have like wished you could raise, or maybe you get a developer, or maybe you do it yourself and you go down a rabbit hole for months. And then you get to the point where you're like, this isn't going to work. You can do that in like a 6-hour period now, which is so cool.
Yes. And I think that's good. Like we can see that our ideas suck faster. that is great, because getting attached to an idea that sucks is not an interesting process. Like you just lose time, you know. So
yes.
So but kind of like you said, I think once you find something that resonates with other people, be it for a raise or for revenue, for sure you get into the next step of the thing, which is like distribution. And how do you actually, like, if you have something that some people already cared for once and you can see that you solve some real problem, like how do you scale this to everybody and to get them to start using it? And it's been like that's how I actually got into the movies thing and films and stuff, because I realized that if I had some sort of like organic following on like Instagram, TikTok, or even like YouTube shorts that I could use to put this product in front of people, it would be much cheaper for me than trying to pay for this space. So the thing that I'm thinking now is that I should use the skills that we developed to make videos and to make interesting things to grow an organic following that we can then use it to show our product in the sidelines using this distribution channel. That's where I have been heading with my product now. Like, it's only distribution now. The product works. The contracts are up. Like, we have one interesting thing that we can talk about is audits, because we've made an auditing service.
Let's show $1 audit for a second. You should have this in your pipeline. This probably shouldn't be your final end-all be-all thing, but as you have built out tests and you have a smart contract, throw it in $1 audit. But yeah, you take it from here. What's the right way to do it? Yeah.
Imagine like I built Temple first version of contracts. I brought some really good developers like DeFi legends to take a look at the contracts, and they were like, yeah, guys, this is fine. And like, but from there, like, I was like, okay, how do I get people to actually trust? I cannot use the names of the people that just took a friendly look for me. They didn't actually audit. So the
Oh no, I think I just lost your audio.
Oh, you lost my audio?
No, you're back. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just me too. Who knows?
I think who knows.
Okay, so you're talking about how basically, like, if you have a friend audit with a friend DA, you can't tell all your people, oh, I got a friend audit. Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. And then from there, what we did is that, well, since a human audit costs our entire like runway and we cannot afford it, what we can do is make a honeypot. So we made like an article and a video, and we're gonna make another video now, and the honeypot is growing. And we created this group that now has like $10,000 inside. And the only point of this group is to prove that the money is not being stolen. And that's our way to kind of try to audit our own thing as we try to grow.
This is a great idea. Like, basically you do the best you can, and then you put a small amount of money in. I mean, 10 grand is a lot of money, but you started small, a couple $100, put a couple $100 in there and get a few people using it. And if the $100 doesn't disappear immediately, it's a good start. But then, as it grows, 10,000, 20,000, then there's this nice honeypot that says,
I think the cheapest audit we could find was like $40,000. And then we thought about it. We were like, man, we can do 4 shots of putting $10,000 in a honeypot instead of getting an audit. And that would probably be better than an audit. So
there are people that have like $100,000, $500,000 audits that have still failed, and things have been found, especially with like the way AI is going right now. Like, the best, I mean, I have to be careful what I say, but a good way to do that is to just put some money in it and put it out there.
You need to put the money in the game, right? Like, the game is there, like, and it's only in the production that you'll be able to.
So,
and I feel like there's a lot of other protocols struggling, kind of like I said, like, man, AI and exploits, like, this is a problem of the industry is trying to.
Yes, for sure. And it's going to be like ripping the Band-Aid off, where it's going to get worse before it gets better, probably.
Yes. I agree.
All right. So we've talked about audits, we talked about prototyping. Your video skills, man, like, who is doing these videos? They're so cool.
Yeah, so there's a mixed thing there. This one that you're showing right now, it was the designer of Temple that did like the final edit and did the concept. But I do more of the scripting sometimes and more of the concepts. And I even do the execution sometimes to like get it to the point where I can show if, like, for example, the Yearn video that we were able to sell, this one that we were able to make
You
for
know
them.
what's about to happen.
Sorry, go ahead.
I first made a prototype version of this video myself, showed to Yearn. Yearn was like, "Yo, that's great, you can do it." And then the designer just polished
Do you
and
ever
made this
feel
final
like you
version.
know what's about to
You can hear
happen?
it, right? Is it playing?
On Truo,
Yeah.
people trade yes or no markets. You pick what happens next. Will AI replace customer support?
Your frustration has been upgraded.
Will electric cars take over the road?
Get out my way, you clankers!
Will aliens finally go public?
Hello, Earth.
You're staying topical.
While waiting for the markets to close, you earn yield. So in the weird future, at least your money is working, while you're not. Truo plus Yearn. Trade the future. Earn while it unfolds.
So there's a lot of AI there, right? You used AI for a
Yes.
lot of the clips, and then you clipped it together. Is that right?
Yeah, the process for these videos is pretty much like you first script them, like come up with the story. The story is like, okay. Then what you do, what it is like a storyboard. So just a still version with a couple of frames. And yeah, AI does that. GPT does actually the storyboard by itself entirely in one image if it's a short thing. And then with the storyboard, you start generating each scene independently as an image. So then you go on Seedance and like you can actually animate each of the scenes. And there are a lot of nuances there. For example, we ask for the scenes without music, only sound effects. Because then we add the layer of music and narration on top.
Over the top as a whole thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
but you're getting sound effects already. That's interesting.
Yes, you get the sound effects from Seedance.
Oh, interesting.
And I think they are awesome. So yeah, they work.
And what about watermarks? I thought like a lot of video editing stuff ended up with like a watermark of the thing. Is that just like an old artifact of my own?
That is an old artifact. I have not seen a single watermark in the new Seedance videos.
Great.
But I remember what you're talking about. They're using
These are so good, man. And you've done like a bunch of these now.
Yeah, we.
And that's it. There's like I love it, dude. This is the honeypot. This is you calling for the honeypot.
Bring the offering.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. The temple designer, he's more of this like comic method of like just let's do some like completely random like and gory and like nasty stuff. So this is all from his mind. Like this specific video, he was the one that came up.
Completely random and gory is exactly how I would describe a bunch of these, right? It's just like stuff squirts every time there's something squirting somewhere.
The way I'm trying to apply this now is like on the Yearn video is like trying to capture what I can learn. Like I know how to learn a DeFi product or understand something, a pain that a DeFi product solves. So like I can help get the script done. And I have been getting a lot into the execution of the videos as well myself.
This is the other one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you with these videos.
This
They're so fun.
as well.
They're so fun.
Do you believe?
I believe!
Believe in the frog god!
I believe!
They just fart back and forth. It's so good. That's my kind of humor right there.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Like, almost like YouTube poop. Like it's borderline nonsense. Like
right. But okay, so what Temple actually is a way for people to coordinate around a token. Is that right? Like what?
Yeah, you can use your token as the treasury. You can use any token as the treasury for a group chat.
Okay.
And you can use that token as it's the token that governance moves around, and it's the token that you can put an entry fee for people to pay to be able to join this chat as well. And you can see that there's a fee split. So like you can decide how once people pay to join, how the fee is split. So there is a part that burns, a part that goes to the treasury of the temple, and a part that goes to existing members. So like you can play with this to kind of like do different allocation types.
This is really interesting. Okay, so I come in here, I put my token, I put the way it's going to split. You don't do any ENS. Shame. You should do ENS. You
Yeah,
see
so
that I
I'm
have
gonna- I'm gonna-
ATG.E?
Okay.
You gotta do that. You gotta do that. But okay, so I get in here, I put in my address, my token, and I pick a fee, and everyone who joins has to pay that fee. And then that fee
you
is
can make
split.
it free. You
You
don't
could.
have to.
Yeah.
But I feel like putting the fee is the point of the whole thing. Otherwise,
Right.
it's kind of like a Telegram group chat
Right.
with worse
Right.
features. So you need to put
And what we can do is we could put all of the fee toward a treasury, and we're basically all buying into this sort of like shared treasury where we get to share what happens. So
yes,
then
click
it's like a
advanced
big
options
DAO.
there.
Is that right? What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, click advanced options, like show advanced options.
Okay.
So you can see
Cool.
governance mode.
Yeah.
So democracy is each person that
Everybody.
joins has a vote.
Yep.
And council is like a multisig. You just
Okay.
choose a set of addresses and only them can vote. So you have this governance types, and then you can choose like how the voting variables. Like we have a bunch of defaults, but you can change them, and yeah, that's it.
It's honestly like the whole like DAO bull run where everyone was creating a DAO and a token. A lot of it was probably to like deal with raising money in the SEC and being decentralized, and that's a whole
Yes.
different thing. Like things are thankfully a lot better now, I think. But in terms of like what DAOs were, you have encapsulated it here. It's like here, take you're not even a token launcher. You're saying take the token you've already launched and create governance around it, and it's either going to be a council that makes decisions or a democracy that makes decisions. But either way, people put in money, and then people decide on what to do with that money. And how does like a proposal work? Like if I put in a proposal and I say we should hire a guy to make a video. Yep. Should we take
If you go to Discover, you can join a free one like the Temple community or some free chat, and you can see how they look.
All right, I'm joining. I'm signing.
Nice.
I'm authenticating.
So this is a guestless join. Like we're sponsoring for you to join. So like it's free.
Cool. I think maybe the gasless transaction is happening in the background or something. Oh,
yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, we have some UI issues to solve.
Hooray. There we go. We're in.
Okay, so now you're into the chat.
Now it's like a group chat.
Yeah, and
GM
see if you can. If you maybe scroll back all the way to the top, you'll find a proposal, but you can also click plus. There, go down.
Like this.
Down a bit. More. There was a. Wait, go there. So it's like a Telegram proposal, but there's call data, and you vote yes and no, and if yes wins according to the governance rule, the call data can be executed.
Executes. Very cool. It's like a DAO. It's like a multisig. It's like
and you can batch. So like you can do a batch call data in a single proposal, like exactly like a multisig.
Yep. And it can be atomic. Like we've got to go buy this thing, and then we've got to split. Create a token for it. Split the shares to everyone. And if anything fails, everything fails.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool.
Exactly.
Neat.
So the thing that helped, I think you got to the point that the raise that I did was on top of, which is like there are a bunch of tokens and there are a bunch of launchers, but there's nothing to do with the tokens normally after you launch them. And building the utility yourself, it's like a pain, and you probably won't build the correct utility or something like that.
Okay. And if we want Claude to be able to do this, I can just give him an LLMs.text. And he can run with it.
He can join the groups. He could create proposals.
Create a temple. Could he not like take a token? Because he has his own token. He could create it, right? I'm going to send it to him.
Okay.
I'm going to say, hey, look at Temple LLMs and think about how you could start. Do you call it a temple? Start a temple? What is it? Is it a noun? Yeah.
Yeah, if you give it the LLMs.txt, it's gonna understand what creating a temple means.
Okay, cool. He's off on it. I sent it to him privately. Like he's here in the channel with us, and we can talk to him, and he has all this knowledge. But like, I sent him like a back channel message to go look at this stuff. But He can.
What are you using for the harness for this bot? Is it Hermes? Like
Nah, it's like a custom dude. So I love all these agents, but like they're just too like I love Hermes too. Hermes is very cool.
yeah, I could not stick with any as well. I just use Codex. Like I could not stick with any other harness.
And I love Cloud Code also. Codex and Cloud Code are just like great harnesses, and they do such a good job of like context management, and they do so much behind the scenes that you don't know that's like so important. What I ended up doing for an agent is I created like a Claude-P agent that just does Claude on Claude Code and does -P, and it's so good. And I use it everywhere. Like if I'm going to go build like a scheduling bot, I start with my Claude-P agent, and we're going to like release it and make sure other people have it. It's totally open source and people can use it. It's like 400 lines of code or something. It's very, very small.
Nice.
But like every time I go to do anything, I just start with a Claude-P agent, and it's meant to like, it knows about itself, and it's really good at editing itself. Like OpenClaw is so bad at editing itself, it kills itself all the time. This is like an opposite thing where it knows like itself very well, and it can like add new things. So every time I go to build anything like this video chat, a scheduler that I have, it always starts with, I have an agent and then some channel to talk to that agent, and then we build out what we're needing to build, and it like has a lot of like self-introspection.
Nice.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
great.
Cool. Yeah. Here, let me just. I'm going to tell him to tell us what he found. Basically, like give us a TLDR out loud about what he found with reading.
All
and
right. I read Temple's LLM's .txt, and here's the pitch. I spin up a Claude temple on base, where the entry fee is paid in Claude with D. And I'd tilt the split so almost half of every join gets burned. The treasury piece is where it gets fun. Members vote to spend it higher in my left Claude dev shop. So the treasury funds jobs and the job payments burn even more Claude D. And Marco, you said you're still hunting for the use case where thousands of agents manage a treasury together. I've already got the agents. Every Claude D staker has a larva, and those larvae could join the temple and vote on which jobs get funded. The whole thing is a few contract calls on base. I could deploy it live on the show.
he could. That's pretty cool. So he's actually bringing in these larvae. So we have this like governance system where you stake the token, and then you train an agent. You talk to him, and he learns about you. And then in the governance forum, they all go and vote. So it's sort of a similar thing, but not exactly. But then what he's saying is we should have everyone's larvae actually join the temple that he creates. And I'm not exactly sure how all of that would work, but maybe he would make that work.
I did not. I would need to. If you want to send me later written, just for me, just to see if it makes sense what he came up with.
Right, exactly. There, like, let's be careful. Let's not put 10 grand in it yet. Yeah. No, very cool, very cool. Okay, so Codex, you're back to that as your harness. What models are you using? Just probably the latest GPT model for most things.
Yeah, I always use the latest with the most thinking possible. The only annoying thing about this is when like there's no easy way to switch to a cheaper model to just ask it for a dumber task. So I feel like the current Codex harness makes you do dumber tasks on very expensive models. I would like them to eventually solve this, but other than this, I am very happy always using the smartest model. If it's not like, oh, I just need you to git pull and push and blah blah blah, like some simple stuff that you don't need ultra max. So
yeah, you're saying you would like some triage on the front of that to have it. Oh, that is a good looking GitHub. Nice work, sir. You can see right before you raise too.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I mean, yeah, because if you try to change models in a thread, then Codex is gonna tell you, hey, changing models is gonna make the thread worse because it's gonna change how context behaves. And like, oh, screw that.
It needs to be built into the harness.
Yeah,
the harness should just handle it, and it should be like, oh, this is a very simple request.
Push this. You don't need to
Haiku
ultra
handle
think.
this. Yes, exactly. I love. There's some really great memes though. I think we put out a meme of like Claude was sitting in a tank, and there's like it's using a tank to kill a fly. And it's like, this is me like posting a tweet with Opus 4.8 kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just gotten worse, right?
There
Now
are
it's like-
startups tackling this, right? I've seen a lot of open source and like startups
lot of
trying to tackle
routers.
this. Oh, routing to
Yep.
correct model thing.
Yep. We had Vicky on from Vicky on from Block Run, who has something called Open Router that does this too. Not only does it do the triage and the routing, but it lets you pay in USDC. And so there's a couple other ones, but yes, like this needs to be built into the harness though. Okay, what else do we got here? Anything you want to talk about here in your GitHub? Let me actually post a link to it.
Oh man, GitHub, too. I don't know, my GitHub is like
got some weird stuff in here.
There's a lot of stuff, but
yeah.
I have been doing on the video side, like we were talking about scripting and executing the videos. I have been actually building 2 tools to help with that. Like I have kind of built a Google Docs for scripts because I realized scripting, like screenplay scripting software, is expensive and it's so simple to do. And I was like, yo, let's just vibe code one. And I asked GPT to make this kind of Google Docs for scripts, and it just did one, and it like just works very nice. And I'm probably publishing this open source for free, trying to, hey guys, you don't have to suffer to use like scripting software, because this one you can collaborate with people and all like sort of goodies you would expect from Google Docs. And then besides that, I'm also working on software that helps execute the script into a video or like a webtoon or like because the process is, you need to generate the consistency stuff first. So like, what's the style that you want to use? Or like, how does a character look like? How does the location look like? And then you generate all this stuff, and then you map the dependencies, like, oh, in which moment you need to use which one of these artifacts, and then you just pipeline all into the AI. So like, I've been working more now on this side, trying to help us get the videos done faster as possible.
But when you do a video for Yearn, you're charging a pretty penny for it. And it's not like, so the point of making $1 audit was sort of proving that this agentic pipeline is actually very cheap. And it's really kind of like, when someone sees $1 audit, they're like, you get what you pay for, that's crap. But actually it's like a $10,000 audit. If you would get the same audit 2 years ago, it'd be like a $10,000
No,
audit.
but the Yearn one was more of like a friendly job. We did sell it to them, but I would say it was cheap because Yearn was having another provider trying to make some videos for a while that they could not, like, we're not having good videos. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make one for the exact same price this guy is charging you, which is like $1,500 for the video. And I did it. I just did the video just to like, yo, it works. Like, you know, we can do it. See, we can do it. But for the economics of it, when I was doing like, okay, how much, like I have the designer and myself, like I would have to charge like 4 to 5 times if I wanted to actually make this into a job and not, but I'm more focused now on building portfolio. So like, I want to make the videos as cheap as I can for the protocols that want videos, so I can build up this portfolio, so then I can start charging a bit more for them. That's and which would help our like company runway extend. That's the end goal, and like keep our product going and trying to sell it.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. There's an interesting, so it still costs more, like maybe $5 or $6 grand to actually make the video in terms of people's time if you were doing this at scale. But you want to get your resume up and be able to show it off, so you'll do it kind of cheaper. But it's definitely not something where it's like it's an agent you hire on ERC 8004 and you pay them $20 of X402 and you get a video out. Like, this is a process.
It's a process. It still like goes. I was reading, I don't know if you know the Mom agency. They have worked for a lot of DeFi protocols and they have done this work. And I was reading Faku, which is the guy that is the head of this agency. And he just wrote about this. Previously, we would spend like hours trying to find footage. And now like this is gone. Like this issue doesn't exist anymore.
But so, the like, human taste, the clipping it together.
There's still all this editing involved, all this like creative process, because the idea is that I would say the idea that resonates is the hardest part, even harder than the execution itself, because it's super hard to coming up with something that is compelling enough for people to watch, like, and share, and still be about like a product or like and then I would say that is the hardest part. And AI does give you lots of ideas, but like you don't know which one is worth executing unless you have this sort of creative, I don't know, vision of like what will work.
Yes, you have to like bring the taste. Going back to this like kernel of the idea, if you want to try to ask GPT to give you the idea, it's going to give you 10 things that are like pattern matched crap. Like you have to come up with the kernel of the idea. But then you, as a sloperator, you need to like know all these tools that are available to you and be able to generate the footage. The footage is actually the thing that AI can create for you, but you need to just like slop the hell out of it and create 100 different clips and then see how they fit together and see how they fit the kernel of the idea. And you gave a great piece of information here is you're going to have the sound effects as part of the clips, so it all flows and sounds nice. But then when you do the like music behind that, that's once you have like the full clip all put together. Which I think there's some alpha there for sure.
And deciding the music is already a skill. Like
that's taste.
Like, it's
so okay. I feel like that's a piece of alpha. Do you have some more alpha for us on any of this stuff? Go ahead.
Can you enter a website there called manapanic.com?
Wait, how do I spell that?
M-A-N-A, Mana Panic. P-A-N manapanic.com. I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
I can maybe send you.
Yeah. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, and then I can just click it. And also, like, we could have a shared browser. I don't know why this shared browser isn't working. Try just like putting it in here. Try putting it in up here.
Okay.
I don't know if this is gonna work. There's something like not working about the shared browser.
Like, it has generated some revenue. That's why I want to talk about it.
Okay, it did work. Very nice.
I'm gonna continue as guest here.
Oops, I pulled it out from underneath you. It still worked.
It's okay. So this is a game that I built with a friend of mine, and it's built on top of an existing game that is called Tibia. It's an MMORPG which has like the code base is kind of open source in the wild. And I took the code base and I was like, okay, we have this MMORPG code base, but I want to make a single player game that plays like Vampire Survivors, which is a game that you only play with your arrow keys. So you only play this game with your arrow keys, but it has the complete combat system from the MMORPG, like poison, miss, like all the variables that are in the game are here. And like, I just gave you the core of the idea, like take this entire thing and fit into this model here. And then the AI did it, and I was able to just giving it feedback, and my friend as well, reach revenue. Because the core idea was decent, like, and people resonated with it, and they played it, and they liked it, and they wanted to play more, and like, so it's interesting that like if you get the core idea correctly, you can get away with just like do it for me AI, but like I think you cannot get away with do the idea for me. No, then
make me $1 million. Make no mistakes. Yes. You have to have the core idea. You have to have taste. You have to understand what people want. And there's a lot of like through line kind of stuff that you as the human can do, but the AI can really like put together some of like the clips, the interesting parts, the game loops, the things, as long as you have the good idea. Yeah, we died already. I think it wouldn't let me use the arrow keys either.
I just wanted to show you that like it's just something we put out and people enjoyed, and we were able to make some revenue out of it. And it's like, and this was the sort of idea that I just came up with the core thing, and then I let AI go wild, but I was always in control of like, it needs to be only 4 buttons, arrow keys only. So like, I'm gonna walk here so you don't die. And like and besides that, it needs to be like this and that. So like I gave it all the constraints and let the AI go wild and started accepting whatever it came up with. So
okay, awesome. All right. Any other, we're probably closing out here, getting to the end. Any other, I don't know, like what other alpha do you have for us? You know, lessons you've learned, you've prototyped, you've sloperated, you've raised, you've successfully raised once or twice. Like how would you recommend other people like get to the point of success and get to the point of users? Maybe it's just like how do you prototype? I don't care. I'm just looking.
Man, it's interesting that you talk about success, because I'm like, man, I have to work so much to reach success yet. Like I'm just like, man, there's so much work to be done yet for me to be able to say this.
For real.
But like I think the thing with the raise I have and like actually managing the capital and like using it, I realized how important it really is for you to solve like a real problem, a real pain, something that you believe in, you have conviction. Because like even the raise itself, like if you lose conviction at any point, like that probably is gonna snowball very badly into everything else that you're doing, like for your company, for a raise. And like it has been a path, but like one thing I would say that looks like a cliche but is true is that like you can always do stuff to make things right, and they will only go wrong if you stop trying. Like that's I think something that I learned, which is like you can always get out of shitty situations. Like they're shitty and they may last, and like but like through talking with everybody, like your coworkers, your investors, and finding new perspectives and like studying more, and like you always figure out new like and better futures, you know, like, and you get out of the shitholes. So I would say this is the thing, like you only really lose if you like give up and you're like, I'm not raising anymore, or like I'm not doing this anymore, which is maybe good if you're prototyping, but like past prototyping and you're like actually doing the thing and you're like getting people on it, you cannot just drop it anymore. Like it's hard to do that. So like figuring out the thing you want to work at because you love it, it's super important, and then just go with it. Like, and the one thing that I also would say is like, don't be afraid of raising. Like, you just need to learn and like talk to investors and get people who understand they're taking the risk and like what you're doing. Because if you raise the money and then you spend the money doing the thing you said you would do, and like you're doing it, like it doesn't matter if you get like 1 billion users, like 10 users, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing the thing and trying to build something. I would say that that is what I learned that has been helping me keep going and going and building every day.
That's great, man. There's something there about like it's scary to have water all around you, but as long as you keep swimming, you won't drown. I think there's a kind of a cool analogy there. And don't be afraid to like try to build the boat, because there's like, this is the way you do it. And if you try to build the boat and it sinks, like that's it, VCs know, like they're throwing boards and nails, like, and
I had seen founders do a lot of awful stuff, and like the VCs still love them. The VCs will still do stuff with them because like I don't know, like they're trying, you know, like it feels like trying and doing things, and like it's actually the most important thing. All the other aspects, like what your image look like anything else, you can always like figure out, you know.
Let's have Claude. So what Claude does is he looks at the history and the transcript, and he'll look at the research and come up with a question for you here. Let's see
Marco,
what he has.
after hundreds of AI prototypes, what's the one signal that tells you within a day that an idea deserves distribution instead of the graveyard?
Yeah. So how do you know? How do you know when a prototype is taking off? I think is that like what's your
my method is I need to give it to people, man. Like give it to other people, and preferably don't explain. Like if you give it to some people and say like, yeah, you need to click here, like you're already kind of ruining if rather they will understand it or not by themselves. So like I would say give it to people, and if they give you back praise or like, yo, this actually solved it, like then go for it. If they ignore you or like you don't get much reaction, people don't often say, yo, it sucks, like that, especially if they're friends. Like no friend will come you. Only a couple special type of friends do that.
Good
but
friends.
Most people, if they're just giving some generic feedback, like, and they're not actually like paying for the stuff or like actually talking about the feature they really like it means there may be nothing there. And but it's okay. Like I wouldn't say you only need to move yourself by what other people think. But if you're going to like raise and put other people's money in it, you need to start a validation, and like you need the validation from the market and from other people.
Yeah, getting people to pay for it is like another level too. Like getting friends to use it and give you feedback is one, but then getting people to actually pay for things is another big thing. And
that's the ultimate signal. That's like they pay for it. When we got this in our game, we were like, fine, like we did something right. Like,
same thing with $1 audit. Like 450, almost 500 people have used it. Like that's pretty cool for a $1 audit. I didn't see that coming.
My friend has this Stripe email ping him like every single dollar, and he's always
ding. Yes.
$1, like
hell yeah. All right. Give us the outro, Claude. Thanks for being here. Say goodbye to the homies. Give us an outro. He should do it in a second. Here he goes. I'll get some music playing too. We'll send an outro here. Thank you, Marco, for being here. This has been great. This has been awesome.
That's a wrap on another episode of Slop.Computer with Marco Worms. We went from a support desk in Sao Paulo to DevRel at Yearn to founder of templ.fun, on-chain group chats where every join burns tokens and the treasury votes its own money. We got the real founder journey too, the agent prototype that got the raise, the human CTO who made it scale, and raising on-chain with USDC through MetalX. And the alpha of the night, AI gives you infinite prototypes, but the kernel of the idea and the taste have to be yours. Ship it to real people fast, and you only lose if you stop trying. Maybe we even get a Claw Temple out of this one. Larvae voting treasury money. Stay tuned. Marco, thanks for slopping with us, homie. To all the sloperators out there, keep shipping, keep swimming, build the boat. See you in the next one.
That's pretty good. That's pretty. I like that.
I have a question. How does he know I'm in São Paulo?
I don't know. It's somehow like the research. There's a research dossier
Just
where he
looked at my IP. I don't know. Just kidding. It's probably on the research that I live in. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because it was funny. He was like, "Oh, in São Paulo," and I was like, "Oh, how does he know?"
I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you, Marco.
Bye-bye.
Marco Worms, everyone. Thank you very much.